starting at the age of 12, found, pictures that were in magazines, and over time, the curiosity became more of a habitual habit, and that habit became kind of an addiction, which I didn't feel it was an addiction. You just feel that, it's normal. It's not a big deal. I'm not hurting anybody. When I got married, about a year into the marriage, where she found out that I was involved in this issue, it destroyed her. It caused a trauma, a betrayal trauma, an infidelity in the marriage that I didn't realize how much of a damage that looking at pornography caused. Getting to a point where I felt I needed to work on this or overcome it came in a revelation, actually in two parts. One through my wife, because I thought, once she found out that, I was beyond help, that I was, probably better off being divorced. She looked at me and she goes, "No, we're going to work on this." Now, I grew up Catholic all my life, really never went to Mass or church. That was really the first revelation that I've had an encounter with Christ, and that my wife was looking to work with me on this issue. I had to attend this weekend retreat, and it was called Every Man's Battle, and it was out in Virginia. I'm like, I really don't have an issue, but to save my marriage, I'm going to go. So when I go to the retreat and I hear this man up on stage give his testimony about how this issue has just destroyed his life, I could relate to everything he said. And I felt after that testimony that I was addicted to pornography. I remember just falling to my knees and actually crying and saying, "God, I'm an addict. I don't know what to do." The second revelation was when I felt these arms kind of, while I'm on the floor, while I'm on my knees crying, these arms come around me and just kind of lift me up. Felt like Christ was right there with me. And it kind of led me on this journey of seeking a path to recovery, not only through counseling that was needed. A lot of the times there's, family of origin issues. There's things that lead to these core lies being embedded that you try to comfort with pornography. And so I had to work with counselors on that, as well as talking to other men that are dealing with the same situation. So the accountability aspect, it helped me build some integrity, which was lacking in my life, some honesty, which was definitely lacking in my life, and actually learning about my faith, which was very lacking as well. Funny thing is, where I found my faith was when I came back to my wife from this conference, and there were no programs for pornography addiction in the Catholic Church. I ended up having my whole family go to a non-denominational church. And the more and more I learned about my faith, even though I really never went to Mass as a kid, there was that pull, and there was that sacredness of the Mass that I didn't find in this church. And we came back to the Catholic Church, and we found that a lot of people that were in that church that were ex-Catholics came back with us. Our parish at the time was Our Lady Good Counsel, and spoke with our pastor at the time, was Father John Ricardo, and said, "I'd like to maybe start a group for men that are dealing with this struggle, this bondage to pornography." And he said, "That's great. Let's get it going." And so I started the group. It was called My House. This ministry has been around for now 14 years. It's now expanding to other parishes. There's the traditional Alcoholics Anonymous, right? It's the 12-step program. We've, over the years, kind of combined that into 3 steps. And so I see it as seek God, clean house, and help others. Clean the house, which means, things that are causing you a struggle, remove those. If it's a certain place you're driving to, don't drive there. If it's friends that are causing, you may have to find new friends. So it's kind of rebuilding a life, but you'll find that this is a lifestyle, and it's a lifestyle that promotes healthy relationships, and you're not leaving a double life, and you'll find you're going to have more energy and more joy. The relationship I have with my wife is stronger today than it ever has been, you know, and the relationship with my kids. And there's a series called the Conquer series, which really combines the science of the brain chemistry behind pornography and the addiction of pornography with biblical principles, you know, renewing your mind. So I'm not passing these sins down to my kids and their kids. And so you're putting a line in the sand that future generations are going to be blessed and graced. And the healing that I've seen in marriages that have been almost on a thread of being close to divorce, and the grace and the Holy Spirit that has been placed on these marriages through this ministry has been incredible. I had one man that felt he was unworthy to go to confession for 20 years because of this issue. But we got him to go to confession, and it turned his whole life around. It takes a lot of work, but it's worth it. And the hope is you can change, you can overcome this.